channel, it's your girl Bernice, and I'm back in with another video. Okay, so ignore the little humming sound at the back because it's like 31 degrees and it's very hot. I've closed my window so I don't get bothered by the noise that comes from downstairs, so I had to put my fan on because the room is really hot. So ignore the little humming sound behind that, it's just my fan. But anywho, so you guys, the last video I posted I think 2 weeks ago was a day in my life, going to work and things like that. But I realized after 8 weeks of not coming online, it makes a lot of sense for me to do a video giving you guys an update, what is going on in my life, what has been happening, how have I been coping. And I know so many people have been asking about life after the breakup, what has been going on with me, what's up and things like that. So in this video I'm going to answer or or tell you guys as honestly as I can what is happening in my life right now, what is going on, what has been going on and things like that. I'm hoping to be able to answer as honestly as possible, but of course I feel like I might end up hiding myself a bit because I'm really vulnerable, but I'm going to try my best in this video to be honest. So let's see how this goes. So to help me make sure I don't go over myself, as they say, just a password. So I'm going to I have a few questions here that I'm going to look at to answer based on my life update. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so starting with the first question we have here, it says, what has changed the most about you in the last few months? So honestly, in the last few months I feel like I have matured, but mentally, but physically. I don't even know how to explain it, but of course I have had such a massive growth when it comes to my mental health, when it comes to just me personally. The last time I was here, I think some time ago, even before, I don't know if I ever did a video talking about my mental health, but I had a period, I think 2 years ago, I had a period where I felt depressed. I felt I was getting depressed. I was going through a lot. I was mentally going through a whole lot, and the people I was expecting to help me were not there when I needed them the most. But through that little period, it taught me that you're really alone. The people you least expect to be there for you are the people who will be there for you, in the moments where you need the people you think are for you the most. So that was what happened to me. I felt like I've gotten closer to people that I didn't even think I'll get closer to. This last few months I've made such amazing new friends, I've met such amazing new people, I've spoken to so many people, I've had so much fun. These last few months have honestly just been it's been amazing compared to my first 2 years in university. This final year has been amazing, or the year before even that. It's been amazing. So it says the next question, what mindset shifts completely changed how you move through life? I mean, as I said, I think this also goes along with the first one that I just said. With me knowing now that just because someone says they are for you does not mean they are for you. So I got to go through my depressive mood with people that I didn't even know I needed at that time, people who didn't even know what I was going through, yet they came through for me in such massive and big ways. And of course, let's not underestimate the power of my siblings, my family. They were my biggest and strongest backbone these past few months. Through every single thing I went through, they have always been beside me, behind me. It's honestly been amazing. We've never bonded so much as a family like we've done this past few months. It's been an amazing experience. The next thing is, what are you currently working on that excites you? So if you watched my previous video, you would know I said I'm currently in my final semester. So I'm currently working on my thesis. It was such an amazing experience working doing my own experiments, even though it took 1 year for me to actually complete my experiments that I'm using for these thesis. It was so much fun. It was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I feel I keep talking to people and they said for the job I want to do, it makes sense for me to quit after my bachelor's degree, to not go for a master's, because if I go for a master's, I'll be way too qualified for the job I'm currently excited about doing. But then I also feel I need to get my master's, so I don't go back to school later on when I start working. So it's still something I'm still debating, I'm still thinking about. I haven't yet decided, but it was definitely fun working for my experiments. That it's made me think of venturing into that line of work. So like, yeah, but I still have about 2-3 weeks to decide what I want to do with my life after these thesis. But yeah, we still have a bit of time. 2-3 weeks is still some time. So hopefully the next time I come with a video, I'll let you guys know if I'm be doing a master's, so I'm going to, like, you know, jump right into the working scene to do the job I actually want to do. So the next question, what's a big challenge you faced recently and how you handled it? I think you all know the biggest challenge for me recently that has been very, very public. It has been very public was, of course, my breakup. I know it's been like, I think it's been a bit over a year now, and I never really came to speak about it. After the breakup, I just, like, you know, I just went offline. I just, like, stopped everything. That was one of the biggest things I went through, because, like, dating someone for 5 years and then, like, everything just ends. Of course, it, like, you know, it F's you up mentally and everything. So I did have to go through that process, because it was like, it was something that I did not see coming, something I did not expect, something that just happened out of the blue. But of course that challenge has been overcome, like, and right now I am honestly, like, you know, just moving forward, just enjoying life a day at a time, just like, you know, just taking each day as it comes, each new challenge as it comes. Thankfully there's no other challenge that has, like, you know, that has rocked me as much as like that breakup did. But apart from that, I don't think I've had any challenge that I've, like, you know, I've gone crazy about, because school has been amazing. As I said, I even got, like, you know, my thesis way before the semester started, so I already had an idea what I was going to do, so that was already sorted. So school was not really a big problem, you know. So that was the only thing that, like, challenged me last year or the past few months. What's one thing you learned the hard way? Ooh, what's one thing you learned the hard way? I think this question also goes back to the first and second questions I answered, because it's like, as I said, the people that you think are there for you might not be there for you when you actually need them, and then you have people whom you least expect to be there for you be there for you. It has really changed my perspective. Like, just don't underestimate the role someone plays in your life, like, you know. So I'm not gonna lie, I've really had people bump up like, you know, their relationship in my life. Like, for example, people I just thought were, like, you know, acquaintances came through for me in such big ways, and now we're, like, really close friends, you know, things like that. It's like, yeah. So the next question, what's been draining your energy and what's been giving you energy? Oh, I think it's the same thing. What's been draining my energy has been the gym. What's been giving me energy has been the gym. I have created such an amazing bond with lots of people in the gym. It's so amazing. Like, I look forward to going to the gym. I wake up, I'm excited to go to the gym, because I know people in the gym. Like, it's like, even if I don't even talk to them, I get excited to see the regulars I see in the gym all the time. I get excited to hit, like, you know, new PRs, to go and lift weights. Like, I don't know, now the gym has been making me really excited. Like, I don't know why, but I've been getting really excited just going to the gym. I had someone be like, oh my god, like, your thighs look nice. Oh my god, like, all the compliments I'm getting, I feel like I was, like, you know, some of, like, the biggest motivations that make me keep going to the gym, or, like, you know, keep draining my energy, keep getting my energy. It's been the gym. What is something you're healing from? Oh, I mean, obviously, I mean, I wouldn't even say the breakup, because honestly, I think that is, like, you know, has already been healed, so it has nothing to do with the breakup. But something I'm healing from is me being able to trust people again, me being able to, like, you know, to see the good in humans, because I feel like I had my trust broken. I had, like, you know, someone toy with my loyalty and things like that. So now it's a bit hard for me to, like, you know, to be able to trust people, to be able to feel like, you know, to see the good in people. Right now, someone says something, and the first thing I'm thinking about is, like, you know, what is the kind of advantage trying to take of me? What is their goal? What is, like, the game they are playing? I'm calculating and finding. And obviously, not everyone is like that, but I'm currently finding it hard to, like, you know, just see the good in people. But I'm working on it. I feel like it's a work in progress, and we're getting better day by day. So I'm looking forward to the day when I'll, like, you know, be able to trust completely again. But till then, right now, that is something, like, you know, it's a work in progress. What's new in your daily routine? What's new in my daily routine? Honestly, I feel like my routine has not changed, and that is what has kept me grounded. In a sense, it's like my routine is, I know what I'm doing every single day. I know I'm going to the gym, I'm going to class, I'm going to work. So I know this comes after this, after this, after that. That has helped me to like, you know, to stay grounded in the sense that's like, it's nothing too new, too crazy, too jiggly, too changey, like, you know. So I know this is what I'm doing. Then after this, that. Then after that, that. I like order. I like schedules. I like, you know, things coming right after the other. So I know what I'm doing after this. I'm not very like, you know, I mean, I can be spontaneous, but I'm not really a big fan of like, you know, something completely out of the blue. I mean, that might be a lie because I feel like that might be a lie, but it's like in the sense that, so why is it a lie? Because like just yesterday, I told my friends like, oh, there's this party happening, and the party was happening like in 3 hours. We were like, oh, I was like, okay, let's meet and go in 2 hours. So that was definitely spontaneous, but not in that sense. I'm talking of like, I don't like spontaneous in the sense of like big changes to my entire schedule. Like if I know I'm supposed to go to like, you know, to the gym, then I'm supposed to go to class, then I'm supposed to go to work, and then something major happens to change my entire schedule, that pisses me off a bit. Like, you know, like it changes the entire thing. That pisses me off because I was like, you know, now I'm making changes and things like that, and I don't like it. But apart from that, yeah, there's nothing really new to my schedule. So what are you looking forward to next? Oh, I am looking forward to moving back to Austria. So I don't know if I said this in my previous video, but I'm almost done. As I said, I'm writing my thesis, so I'm almost done. And people have been asking, am I staying in Germany, am I leaving? But it's official, I'm leaving because I have already deregistered myself from my apartment that I'm currently in. So I just have like, you know, a few weeks and then I have to leave this apartment and I'm moving back to Austria. The exact city, the exact place I'm moving to, what I'm going to do in Austria, that is like, you know, still a step by step progress because I still haven't like completely finalized everything. But I do know I'm moving back to Austria, but exactly where, it's not finalized yet. But I do have like, you know, a few ideas. But yes, so that is like, you know, I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to moving. I've made an amazing family in Germany. I've met such amazing people. I've been hanging out with some of like the coolest people ever. And I'm so happy for this experience. I'm so grateful for the 3 years I've got to spend in Germany, the people I've got to meet. It's been amazing. But I feel like it's time for me to like, you know, to take the next step in life. I can't like just stay back just because I've met amazing people. It's time for me to like, you know, put me first and then like, yeah. So let's see what the future holds, because right now I'm still like, you know, still swaying and moving and things like that. But let's see. What's a risk you're planning to take? Ooh. What's a risk I'm planning to take? What's a risk I'm planning to take? Honestly, I don't know, because I feel like, I mean, of course, getting into a new relationship is a risk, but that is a risk I'm not planning on taking anytime soon. For anyone wondering, yes, because as I said, I'm still working on trusting people. That is like really broken, but like, yes. So apart from the relationship aspect, which of course that risk I'm not getting into anytime soon, I don't really think there's any other risk I'm taking. I mean, I think moving is a big risk as well, so maybe that is a risk because I have to now like, you know, look for a job, look for an apartment, get my life in order. So definitely I think that could be a risk, like, you know, I'm about to take. So yeah. What's a dream you're finally ready to pursue? A dream I'm finally ready to pursue. Getting serious with my YouTube. I feel like this is a hobby I've always had. I enjoy taking videos of myself. The hard part has always been like, you know, been editing. But I feel like I need to like, you know, this is a dream I've always had, to be a YouTuber, like not like as a full-time job, to be a content creator, like, you know, just like, you know, something I do for fun or something I do part time. But of course I've been a bit lazy, but I feel like that is something I'm definitely looking forward to pursue, like, you know, to growing this channel, to growing like, you know, my followers and things like that. I actually look forward to doing that because I feel like it will be fun. So what's something you want to leave behind this year? So this is the last question. What's something I want to leave behind this year? Ooh, I am really hoping, I'm praying to God that by the time this year actually comes to an end, I'll be fully healed. I'll be able to like, you know, to trust people. I want to like leave all the distrust, leave all the disloyalty, leave all the fear, leave all the hurts, like, you know, leave everything in this 2026 and actually move into 2027 as a new person, as someone who is actually like, you know, who is completely healed, because there is no way I am going to, like, you know, go find someone when I feel within myself that, like, you know, I'm not completely healed. That's because what is the point of getting into a relationship if you can't, like, you know, give your 100%? Because there's no way I'm going to go into a relationship and be given 50-50 and be scared, like, to put my entire foot in there and be scared of what happens, like, until I'm able to, like, you know, jump completely into it. I'm able to be like, bruh, this is a risk I'm willing to take. I don't care what happens. Until that happens, I doubt I would see myself in any relationship right now. So I'm really hoping to be able to, like, you know, to leave all of that behind in this 2026, because I have my friends, like, you know, rooting for me, trying to, like, to link me up with different people. So I feel like it's up to me to heal myself, because there's no way I'm going to someone unhealed. So I would like to, like, you know, yeah, to be healed before the end of this year or by the end of this year. But, like, yes, so this is, like, you know, as honest as I can get, and I'm hoping you guys do enjoy this video. If of course you do have more questions you want me to answer, of course I'll gladly answer for you guys. But of course it shouldn't be about, like, you know, my past relationship, because I feel like it's time for everyone to move on. Of course there's been, like, you know, a lot of things going on, but I am really hoping that everything concerning this, I'm able to leave it all behind in this 2026 and then move into 2027, like, you know, as the Bernice I used to know, as the Bernice everyone else used to know. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget to like this video, to subscribe to my channel, to share this video so we can actually grow this channel and help me pursue my dream of, like, you know, growing this channel. Thank you guys so much. Till next time, it's your girl bbsboakye. Ciao ciao.